maybe the Mishberet. Shalom Uvracha. This evening's study is Parshat Vayera. Parshat Vayera perhaps is most well known for the opening section, dealing with the special levels of kindness and hospitality of our father and mother, of Abraham and Sarah, of Avraham Avinu, and Sarah Imenu. Perhaps more than any other chapter of the entire Bible, this section deals with the kindness that they extend to the strangers that come to their home. Vayisa einav vayar v'hinei shlosha anashim. Abraham raises his eyes and he sees three people. What does it mean? He raised his eyes and he saw three people. One could explain it to mean that if he would just look around, in his tent, he wouldn't see it. But maybe he raised his eyes and he was able to see far away. Or perhaps it means that when someone is really seeking opportunities for kindness, opportunities for chesed, as was our great teacher, our great father Avraham, he lifted his eyes. He didn't wait till chesed knocked at his door. He actively sought methods and opportunities to carry out acts of chesed. Maybe that's what it means. V'hu yoshev petach ha'oel, according to rabbinic tradition, he's sitting by the opening of the tent, looking. Maybe someone will be passing by, and he'll be able to be hospitable. Vayisa einav vayar. He raises his eyes and he sees three men. Can we suggest that anybody who raises his eyes or her eyes will see three guests? Maybe there are always at least three people somewhere around you who need help. I would like to read this text. If you're waiting for three people to knock at your door and say, "Can we please come in?"
We have some muffins.
Yeah. Maybe they won't. Maybe they won't knock at your door. But if you raise your eyes, if you really look into the situation, there are three people right near you. There are three people in need. I think there are more than three people. No matter where you live, no matter what you're doing, just pick up your eyes, because the people in need are not necessarily wearing signs. We need dinner this evening, or we are hungry, or we are lonely, or we need to come into your home. If you pick up your eyes, if you raise your eyes, if you lift your eyes, then you will see that, behold, there are three people standing there. The author of Chafetz Chaim, Rabbi Yisrael Meir HaKohen, Kagan, in his monumental work on Chesed called Ahavat Chesed, he explains why he called the book by this name, based on the verse in the book of Micah, Ahavat Chesed. He says it's not enough just to do Chesed. It's not enough just to fulfill acts of kindness. Ahavat Chesed. You have to love Chesed. And if you love Chesed, you don't wait for Chesed to come to you.
The Talmud says that know where you come from and know where you are going. Okay, what are you doing at Reb Machos?
No, I said you don't question. I'm not going to get it.
Huh? No good?
Not a good question.
What are you doing here is no good.
No, that's not a good question. Why are you shooting a video?
Why am I shooting a video? Why am I shooting a video? Because I understand that a few people who watch this, okay?
Do you enjoy shooting the video?
Do I enjoy shooting the video? I like doing camera work, okay? Yeah.
Yeah. So you're doing it for other people. You enjoy doing it. I'm sitting here eating wonderful food. I've been coming here for 10 years. I'm a Ben Torah. I like Bible study. I like Torah study. I have a personal relationship with Rav Machos and his family. Comfortable here. So I mean, if you're asking for reasons why, it's more of like a reason why wouldn't I be here on a given Tuesday night? Am I out of town or am I busy doing something else? People ask me all the time, why do you live in Israel, or why did you make Aliyah? And the best answer is in the double negative, which is a reality in Hebrew grammar. Ainli Eretz Acheret. I don't have any other country. It's not a reason to be here. It's difficult for me not to be here. Because when you start saying I'm here because, and you start enumerating reasons, it trivializes the the mitzvah, the reality of the situation. If any given thing I do, I have reasons that I can articulate with language, it means that it's a function of my intellect, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's definitely a limited thing. And my presence here and my motivation or motive reason that allow my feet to bring myself here goes beyond mere intellect or some kind of feeling of duty or education. It's part of my environment here in Jerusalem.
It always has bothered me. The story seems so difficult to understand. Although many of us have been studying the story since we're young children. I think the first time I was privileged to study Parshat Vayera, I think 3rd grade. So 7 years old, 8 years old. I don't think the question bothered me then, but many, many times since then. This is the paradigm of hospitality. This is the story of how to be kind to guests. And I was always wondering, and I saw it in several of the commentaries discuss this, if the Torah wants to teach us about being kind to guests, so teach us a story about real people who are hungry. Teach us a story about people who are really desperately in need, and how Abraham and Sarah provided provisions for people in need. This story, according to our tradition, is something about angels. And in a certain sense, I don't want to use this word, but in a certain sense, it's almost a mockery. Everything that Abraham and Sarah are doing, no one's really benefiting from it.
Angels don't eat.
They don't eat, they don't drink, they don't need the water, they don't need the bread, and they don't need the meat. That's the whole essence of the life of Abraham. That's the essence of the life of Sarah. So tell us another story. Wouldn't it be so much more impressive to read about someone who's really famished, someone who's on the verge of death, someone who's almost dehydrating, and Abraham runs and gets them water, and they haven't eaten meat in who knows how long, and they don't even know what to do. And Sarah and Abraham, and he's slaughtering animals, and he's serving tongue according to one rabbinic. Isn't that more impressive?
Maybe we could say like a Korva Homer. If he did so much chesed for people who didn't really need it, then how much more he would have done for people who didn't need it?
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. There is such an approach in the Midrash. We see the reward of of the greatness of the level of Abraham and Sarah, even to beings that did not need it. Could you imagine what the reward is to someone who really does need it? One source I read that maybe it's here to teach you that the essence of hospitality is not just for the recipient, but it's for you. Yoter mima she'ba'al habayit oseh im ha'ani oseh im ba'al habayit. It's an opportunity for you. For you, the person who is extending the kindness, the person who is the Baal Hesed, the Baalat Hesed. Maybe we don't look at it only from the perspective, or primarily from the perspective of the recipient. It is a kindness to you. You have the opportunity to do something. It doesn't really matter. It's your intention, it's your will, it's your input. So perhaps God teaches us in the Torah the message, even in a situation where seemingly these guests did not really enjoy the levels of hospitality of Abraham and Sarah. Nevertheless, Abraham and Sarah, on their part, were giving their utmost to doing this.
It's very serious business. We think what we do has a ripple effect beyond what goes on in this room. It generates a revelatory release of energies. What we do here touches nerve endings here that the whole body of the world feels, even though we're not aware of the exact root of the network. This is it just seems to be something intuitively understood by people in Yerushalayim and Israel as a whole. But also, we have a lot of textual sources for this idea as well. The navel of the world, the center of the universe, the foundation, Eben Shatia, 9/10 of the world's beauty. All these kind of inclusive descriptions means that there's some kind of focus here in Jerusalem of the energies of many worlds or world. Without the personal affection that I had for Rob Malas and his family, I still wouldn't come anyway. So.
You still would come.
I still wouldn't come. The personal affection and friendship is the key ingredient. I mean, so I don't think I'm that lofty, I'm so devoted to Torah study. I come here also for the company and for the food.
The Zohar teaches, it's the main book of Jewish mystical tradition, that when God really loves someone, God sends them a special gift. When God loves a person, God sends them a gift. And you know what the gift is? Uman ihu miskina.
He keeps talking about kindness and he exhibits it all the time.
Yeah.
And somebody told me that maybe he does it because he likes to be in front of people and so on. But they said maybe for 1 month that's nice to give. But after a while,
I think people. I don't think anybody here is kind because they're fulfilling their quota this week of kindness duty. They're doing it because it's pleasurable. It's a great way of life. The general atmosphere that we find here. What they have done is to create an ongoing momentum and atmosphere, so that their house becomes an extension of their heart. Consistency and the openness of this house over so many years and so much time during the week. It's really remarkable, and I don't ascribe to the fact that they're better people or more devoted. I just think they do it because they feel a calling to do it, and because it fits them. It gives them great pleasure. And when we come here, we feel the pleasure. It's a great pleasure to be here.
What's the connection between hospitality and children? So I'd like to offer two answers. One, I was privileged, I believe, to hear from Rabbi Avigdor Miller, blessed memory. He said maybe when you take someone into your house and you care for them, maybe that's a sense of seeing that person the way a parent would see a child. If you could take someone and tend to their needs and see the purity of their inner being, not leave them outside. Every parent cares. Every parent is so concerned. Every parent is so dedicated to their child. When you care about that person, you are demonstrating parental forms of love. And since you're so good at parental forms of love, maybe God blesses that couple with the blessing of parenthood. The Hebrew word for womb, for uterus, is connected to the Hebrew word for mercy, to the Aramaic word for love, Reish Chet Mem. Maybe when you're doing that, it's a loving parental force. Or just to say it on a simpler level, if you're opening your home to a guest, you're open to a guest, you're showing sensitivity to a guest in your home, your doors are now open to a guest. So now we'll give you the greatest guest of all, your own baby. Because that guest will now be open in your home, midah keneged midah. You were open to bringing this person into your home, into your life. Now Hashem will bring your baby into your home and into your life as well. We hope that as a joint study this week of the hospitality of Avraham and Sarah, we hope that there'll be no one this Shabbat anywhere in the world will have to be alone. That everyone will pick up their eyes and see all of the people who are really in need, really understanding the levels of hospitality which our grandfather and grandmother have taught each of us. And as a result of the entire Jewish people opening their homes and opening their hearts, may they all be blessed happily and healthily with beautiful, blessed, sweet children in all of the communities. Thank you so much for listening.
Famous saying, in Kemach, in Torah, in Kemach. So you can say allegorically, Kemach is physical reality or Parnasa. No, it's Kemach. It's Mamash Kemach, Parshat. There's no flour, there's no bread, there's no Torah. You gotta have bread. Would they come? No. Without the food? No. Clearly not. The question is, would Rabbi Bachos even teach if there wasn't a meal and prayer as part of the process?
I understand. That's good.
It's not a university. This is really an evening get-together among B'nai Torah, but where the prayer afterwards and the food afterwards is just as important as the Divrei Torah.
And that shepherd carries a slaughtering knife in his hand. He's a cherub. He has a cherub al zroo. He's walking around. Why is he walking around with a cherub? In case there's at any point where he'll just cut down the sheep. He has a slaughtering knife in his hand to slaughter the fat and the healthy.